Welcome back, everybody. It's Creative Redundancy, the one known as CR. I know I'm a couple minutes late. I had to set up. I had to set up and grab something. And I'm some other things. And our late night stream, late night chit chat. However, I worded it in the description and the title. I think I used an emoji in there too. So hopefully everyone's doing well. I will say something in the side chat right away. Bring that on the screen like that. While I'm at it. So hopefully everyone's doing well. And you're probably wondering, why is CR doing a late night stream? Because it was really hot today. It was like 32 Celsius, 90 Fahrenheit today. It's actually nicer outside. It's actually nicer outside right now compared to the indoor temperature. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just not. What's up, man? I'm just gonna chill outside, right? Instead, something like that. Like I don't have AC, so like, I'm gonna use what Mother Nature provides this time around, as in nighttime. Until tomorrow again, where I have to go through it again. So hopefully everyone's doing well. I see you in there, man. As I wait for some people to drop in here. Like, literally, I'm like, I have a spray bottle. Like, psst, psst. Hey, John. Welcome. You're currently in a sleeping bag? Well, I'm like breaking sweat here. But, welcome. But yeah. Like I said, it was 32 Celsius today, 90 Fahrenheit. Now, on the bright side of things, today, earlier today, there was some cloud cover, so I didn't get like the full. Well, it wasn't clear out, right? So that cloud cover did actually help a little bit. I didn't get that direct sunshine. I was actually considering earlier today to do afternoon in the heat stream. Then I'm like, no. No, I didn't feel like it. So I'm like, screw it. I'll do a late night stream and chill instead. An excuse to be outside and to stay cool outside. Hey, Grace. I'll stay warm out there. I'll pass some heat. I can spare some heat. I'll meet you in the middle, John. I'll meet you in the middle. I'll meet you in the middle at like 21 Celsius, 70 Fahrenheit. That'd be nice. John's probably like, yeah. See, all right, I'll take like 16 Celsius, 60 Fahrenheit right now. Because I'm assuming it's like close to the freezing mark. There, hey. I'm assuming so. How are you doing, Grace? You doing well? Nice to see you. Welcome. Just gonna grab my charger here. Make sure my phone's charged. And I was also making something so I can have a drink here. Not non-alcoholic. It's actually not even alcoholic at all. Make sure my phone's charging. Yeah, okay. So it's charging. So yeah. And by the way, everyone, for anyone that didn't catch my last live stream, I am back home again. Because my last live stream was technically on the road. Well, at a friend's place, but, on the road. I'm technically back home now. I came back, actually last night, actually. More or less around this time. It's just easier to take off at night. A lot cooler out. Instead of sweating it off in the middle after afternoon or whatever, right? I just waited. So it's a lot cooler at night, obviously. So I was just like, yeah, this was much better. It was when I got back home, I was just like, yeah, this was much better of a choice to wait for a couple hours till after sunset. It was a lot better. I was just like, yeah. Now, I won't. I do have a surprise. I won't show it. I will explain it though, to a certain degree. So if you stick around long enough, you might hear it. Because this is like the only first. This is like the first 5 minutes of the stream. So yeah, you'll have to wait a little bit longer. Maybe I'll share some more things about it. So I do appreciate everyone that dropped by on the video I posted out earlier today on this Friday, which I hinted on back on Wednesday afternoon with a quick short. So I appreciate it. Actually, that short actually did pretty well for what it was. It's in the third spot from the last 10 videos. Well, 10 shorts anyways. Yes, I have a sip here. Oh, that's pretty hot. Oh yeah, that hits the spot. Fahrenheit, lows around 50, so 27 Celsius, 10 Celsius overnight. Yeah. That's not too bad, eh? That's not too bad. I'm pretty sure the overnight temperatures here are like in the 60s. 16 Celsius. Maybe even 17, so yeah. That's why I'm just like, I'm like, yeah, I'll just come outside. It's just easier just to cool off outside. I mean, there's no breeze really outside right now, but the actual temperature is lower. Oh, and dramatically lower than compared to like 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 2 o'clock in the afternoon in the sun. Like, there was barely any breeze today. Like, I like looking out at like 2, 3, 4 o'clock at this afternoon, right? Like, literally, the cloud cover was just standing there, blocking the sun for me, creating some shade. I'm like, oh, this is nice. Like, on the bright side of it not being windy, right? The clouds just rolled in and just stuck around for a little bit. Like, it wasn't, like, cloudy, but it was just, like, you know, more cloudy breaks. So, like, yeah, that felt nice. Because, let's see, today's Friday. It's been like this for the last, I don't know, 72 hours? Yeah, 72 hours. I mean, even on the last live stream I did, it was really, really warm outside that day, too. Probably more or less the same temperature, more or less. A couple of degrees shy of what the temperature was today. And it was just like, yeah. I'm trying to make sure on something. Hold on. Come on, swipe. Do this for me. No, don't do that. Swipe. I can't see my indicator. I'm trying to see my indicator on my phone to make sure I'm actually charging here. Come on. Oh, there we go. Only took like 500 tries. Okay. Yeah, it's supposed to be charging. As long as my battery keeps going up. That's all that matters. Or at least be able to maintain it. Even if it's a slow 1% every 2 or 3 minutes. It'll still help. But yeah. That's why I decided to choose doing the stream tonight instead. And yeah. Like, even my last live stream, I was actually inside. So, this is really, really warm outside. Like, really, really warm. I was just, like, thinking to myself, man, you know, the next live stream, like, when am I gonna do it, right? I'm like I said, I was thinking about it this afternoon, then I'm like, no. Then I went into another live stream, one of my followers who, maybe they'll randomly drop by. So, they were actually the first ones to know. Because I said to them earlier, I was like, yeah, I'm considering on going live tonight, right? And stuff like that. So, I was just like, yeah, okay. Why not? Right? I managed to catch someone else live today. I had to take care of something else, so I missed this air live earlier this evening. But I did manage to catch someone else live, so which is really cool. Get to see their new crib. I would just say, I get to see their new crib. Can't wait. Can't wait. So yeah. Oh yes, my battery went up 1%. Okay, that's good. That's a good indication. As long as my battery keeps going up or maintains the battery level, that's good enough for me. I'd be more worried if my battery was still dropping. My brightness isn't even that high. So yeah. This stream, I'm just literally just chilling. Literally. Or trying to keep cool here. I was almost considering like setting up a tent and sleeping outside instead. It's a lot nicer outside in terms of coolness. Probably wouldn't even need a sleeping bag. It'd be so warm. I just need something to like underneath me, alright? For some cushion or something like that. Something along the lines of that. Probably wouldn't even need a sleeping bag. It's so warm outside. You know? Like even right now, I'm not wearing a whole lot, but I mean, I'm wearing something off sleep. Like, it's like, whew. Compared to earlier today, this feels like, wow, something else. And the thing is, like, I was looking at the extended forecast. I'm supposed to see this temperature again next week. There's supposed to be a break in between, like, on, like, Monday, Tuesday, or whatever. Then next week, the temperature's supposed to come back to this temperature, well, relatively. So, and during this temperature range, right, Environment Canada will issue a heat warning. So, I'm pretty sure they'll stop it, then it'll resume next week again for a day or two or whatever. Although the amount of heat and the duration won't be as long. So yeah, I will actually see 80, probably, well, see high 80s, 30 Celsius, 86 Fahrenheit in September. I can't even remember. I'm trying to even remember in my lifetime when I actually seen the temperature that high. In September. I mean, we'll see when it actually occurs, right? I'll see the official temperature, but I'm like, yeah, it's in the forecast still. And there's no rain in the forecast for me. I mean, so, you know, some of those previous streams have talked about the balance of, like, rain and sunshine and all that stuff. That's definitely not happening this time around. It's nothing but sunshine and a lot of solar energy. Bright side, solar lights can charge. Bright side, solar energy can charge. Batteries can charge. So, yeah. Running low on rainwater. Definitely running low on rainwater. But on the bright side, again, some of the plants are kind of in that seeding stage or fruiting stage right now, so. I keep hearing this bug. I keep hearing, I will hear bzzz. It's bugging me right now because I have a door open. So. If you hear me swatting or something like that, you'll know it would be like, yeah, it's starting to get to me. And I don't want to spray anything. Yeah, so you guys, you folks, ladies and gentlemen, or lady anyways, you guys doing all right? I know John's trying to stay warm. It's freezing there. He's in the sleeping bag, someone else is listening, and apparently Grace is doing pretty good. I wouldn't. It's the only time. I thought I was gonna be done with the bugs for the season. No. When nature decided to throw in their, curveball in, when there's some heat. Like I said, when our bright side is then, I was saying to people here, like, you know, bright side. We didn't get this kind of heat back in, like, seriously, what am I hearing? Shoot, it keeps bugging me. I feel like, I just feel like I'm itching just because of it. But, like, on the bright side, like I said, if this was June or July or even earlier this month, I could say earlier this month because today's the 29th, right? There would be more daylight. which means it probably feel hotter, just because naturally there'd be more sunshine during the day, right? But since it's August now, we're coming closer to the equinox time, right? A couple more weeks, like 3 more weeks. Yeah, first day of fall or autumn is on the 22nd of next month. So yeah, so we're coming into this kind of probably 13, 12 hours of daylight. So, but still, it's still hot. Relatively speaking, I'm just like, man, I might actually have to close this door. I don't want to, but hold on a second. I need both hands for this. I gotta undo something. I definitely gotta close the door. And hopefully this mosquito, I'm pretty sure it's a mosquito, is just bugging me right here. And for some reason now my hand's itchy. Ugh. Maybe I should go back inside and grab some, like, something. Yeah, ugh, so annoying. So annoying. I could put up with the heat at times, but I think it's always the mosquitoes that starts to get to people, you know? Speak of which, spray bomb might come in handy here. Yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah, and I'll have my sip of my drink here. That's why it got delayed starting the stream, because I was actually making it. I was like, yeah, might as well. Might as well. So yeah. So on my travels, when I was visiting someone, right? I went to this outdoor gathering on Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. I'm trying to. No, it was after the last live stream I did, but it was around like sunny out and like had to be 86, 30 Celsius out, right? There was a breeze. There was way more of a breeze than there ever was today, right? And I was just like, just talking to people, right? We're just sitting in this kind of campground, let's just say, for lack of a better term, right? And there's some overhang on some of the places, right? I just noticed, like, where everyone's sitting, I'm like, no one's sitting in the sun, right? No one's, no one wants to sit in the sun. Everyone's sitting in the shade from the trees and from the structure around there, right? There's some places to sit down. No one sat in the sun. No, like, I could just see as the sun's migrating, like, everyone's just moving away from the sun. It's just, like, moving towards the shade again. And I'm like, yeah. And stuff like that. I had a chance to talk to some people and, get to know some other people a little bit better, among some other things, in a more casual environment versus, something like kind of, more strict or business-like. So it's just like, and stuff like that, He had some burgers, some hot dogs, some other things. And there was actually ice cream. I know, it was so cool. I was just like, wait, now that I think about it, I should have taken one more extra ice cream. At the end of it, I was saying to people, because it was in a cooler with ice and stuff like that, with bags of ice and stuff like that. I was just like thinking to myself, I was just kidding at everyone, but I was just saying, I'm like, okay guys, there's one more ice cream, anyone want it? And everyone's like, hey CR, you should just take it, man. I'm like, no, I just want to, I could take it, but, here, you have the ice cream. Well, you should have it, Sierra. No, you should have it. Right? Well, because the next thing I said was like, yeah, because if you guys take the ice cream, there won't be any ice cream left, and then I can take the ice with me, right? I was thinking like that already. I'm like, I could keep cool. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, I was tempted to grab the bag of ice. I'm just saying. Remember, you know how I am with the resources at times, right? I'm like, because it wasn't gonna be used after potentially anyways, right? So I'm like, I was thinking about like, can I grab the ice? Can I just, you know, or whatever, right? Open up the bag, maybe put some ice in my drink or whatever, right? I was like, I mean, I was joking around with them, but that's a sense of humor, right? That kind of thing. So I thought it was funny. Well, I thought it was funny, anyways. Well, I don't hear that mosquito, that bug in here. I don't hear it right now. Hopefully it flew away or something. And I don't see it either. And I don't hear it. No, I hear some buzzing. Barely, though. I don't know if it's a mosquito. Ugh. Don't you hate it? Like, if you ever go, like, camping or whatever, and, like, you're in a tent, and you're trying to, like, you got the tent door closed, you got the screen, like, or whatever, it's zippered down or whatever, you're about to go to sleep, you know, then all you hear is this buzzing, and you're just like, then you wake back up, you're like, oh, seriously, right? And then you're trying to find it, right? Because you know they'll just, like, bug you the rest of the night or whatever while you're in your tent. Kind of feels like that, except for I'm in a much bigger place than a tent right now. And I can hear it. And I can't see it, and the thing is, I can't tell if it's, I don't know, because I can't see it either, so I can't tell if it's a mosquito. Because my hand's itchy right now, too. Although I did just go for a very quick walk early, before the stream started. I can hear it. All I hear is buzz. I'm pretty sure. The thing is, if it was larger, like a fly or something like that, wow, or something along the lines of that, I'm pretty sure I would notice it. Oh my gosh. I can hear it. So I don't know, like, I feel like, I don't know. Maybe I should, maybe I should go back inside and grab some incense or something. I'll bring it out here. Oh. Seriously? It's not good. And I can't see it. So I can't swat it. And that's the thing, I can't see it either. If I could see it, yeah, honestly, I would swat it or whatever, but I can't see it. It's so, I don't know what's worse, the heat or the mosquitoes. Yeah, the mosquitoes. You can keep cool with other ways, but like, mosquitoes, alright. Short of me wearing like some bug net the rest of this night out while I'm out here. And it's just like, I can't even see it. I have no idea where it is. I can't even visually see it, too. I have the lights on in here, too. I can't even see it. This is driving me insane. Ugh. You know? Certain little things, tolerances, right? But, the heat, the cold, to a certain degree, right? I guess there's a tolerance to mosquitoes and bugs and amongst things like that. Or at least biting things like that. It really bites right now. Literally. Ugh. Literally it bites. Ugh. I don't even know where it is. But I know it's around here because I can hear it. It's just buzzing around. Like, I'll jump for joy if I can get rid of it. Like, I have the door shut now, but... Almost thinking of going to grab something at this rate. At this rate, it may come to fruition that I do it. So, yeah. Today wasn't so bad outside. See, I can hear it again. And I was just like, I swear I'm getting distracted by this mosquito. I can hear it. Barely. And I know it's like one. Maybe two at the most, but I'm pretty sure it's only one. One little thing just distracts me. I can hear it too. Maybe I need one of those bug zappers in here or something along the lines of that. That might be a decent idea. Now that I think about it. I can hear it. Yet I can't notice it. I mean, I got these white lights in here, but I'm like, I still can't even notice it. I know it's around because I can hear it. It's bugging me right now. I don't know. Maybe it isn't a mosquito. Maybe I'm just thinking about it because I have a mosquito bite on my hand right now. It's itching. It's on my right side right now, just below just below my pinky, like on the side of your hand. So it's not on my palm or my backhand, but it's just like, I mean, I got something. I got a bag out here. I might dip into it just to see if I can do something about it. Because it's just like, right now it's, I don't know. My hand wants to itch. You know that feeling, right? That itchy feeling, right? I mean, everyone's got their tolerances to it, right? Some people can handle it. Some people, like, sometimes mosquitoes gravitate to someone else more than yourself, right? I'm kind of in the middle at times. And it kind of sucks I'm only in this area right now. See, I can definitely hear them. Ugh. So, I don't know. Whatever. I guess the stream must go on, right? Stream must go on. So I will keep going on. Why not? So, yeah. Now did I get it? Please tell me I just got it there. I just felt something. I didn't see it, but I felt something on my hand again. Because I'm holding something and maybe I got it there. Maybe I got it. I think I got it, guys. I'm trying to see. Wait, maybe. I think I might have gotten it. Maybe, I don't know. I can't tell. I might have gotten it. I think I might have gotten it. Yeah, I think I might have gotten it. Or at least enough of it. I'm trying to see if it's on the ground, though. Let's see here. Yes, I got it, guys. Like, literally. No word of a lie here. I'll even turn on the camera. See, it's right there. See, right there. Look, I got it. Yeah, there we go. That's the way. Yay, I got it. All right. There we go. That's more like it. Now I just gotta remember not to open the door. Or always if I open the door to shut it behind me. Yay. That was worth it. I grabbed it. I was just like, it'll sting my hand a little, but at least it won't be so bad now. It won't keep biting me. So it's just like so annoying that was. Ugh. Yay. And I don't hear anything else. Yay. Yeah, because like I said, it's been really warm, so yeah. I mean, I'm not saying the mosquitoes are bad, obviously, that was just one, but, it's just that one that always keeps bugging you all the time, constantly wants to keep biting you, and all that stuff, right? I think, like, I'm not per se sensitive. Ah, you gotta be joking me. I think I just saw another one. Although maybe it's male. It won't bite me. Yeah, I see some of them. No, no. That's a non-biting insect. Not worried so much about that. So, yeah. Whew. So, yeah. Anyways, enough about that. Like 30 minutes in, and I've been talking about like mosquitoes for like the last 20 minutes. Like anyone cares about it. But yeah, it's just one of those things, right? It's hard to get sleep, hard to do something at times, right? You know, and I know some people. I know some people that are more sensitive to bug bites like that than other people, right? Where they develop into something a little bit more. They're more sensitive to it, and it's something more of a reaction to it than some other people are. I'm kind of in the middle, a little bit higher. I know some people can tolerate it much more. I don't know. I think I ever take the cold or the heat, personally. You know, at least during the day, if I was doing the stream during the day in the heat, like my skills wouldn't be out, right? I'd just be dealing with heat, and you know, I could stay cool by drinking fluids, keeping cool, using water and stuff like that to help myself keep cool, hydrated, and all that stuff, right? But you know, the bugs at times, you know, aside from wearing a bug net or putting up my big mosquito net. I don't know that I think about it. That might not be such a bad idea if I chose to. I might actually have it out here to use. So yeah. So yeah, coming back to the story here before I get derailed again by a mosquito. Like, I managed to find a few things while I was out. Right place, right time. I don't know. My timing yesterday. I don't know when I left. I was just like this timing. I found something. I briefly mentioned it into this other live stream I was attending to. Right. They're like, "What is it, Sierra? What is it?" I found something. Yeah. What is it? Yeah. I just give subtle hints, right? Because I'm actually thinking about like posting it later about it a little bit more. So I mean, I'll go into more detail behind it in terms of story, right? But like, so when you see that, eventually, whenever I do the video on it, it'll probably be in like a resource haul video that I do, right? One of the free resource haul videos I do, not the next one, because I've already recorded the next one. The next one is scheduled on the channel, but probably the one after that, most likely, I'll probably show it, explain it more. But when you see it, you'll be like, oh yeah, that was that time that Sierra was away, and you know, he did the live stream, the late night live stream where the mosquitoes were bugging him. He was talking about and kept talking about the bugs because it was just bugging him, and it just derailed him. And I'm just saying all that stuff right there. But yeah, I was just like, the timing of that, right? And stuff like that. I mean, I always remember every time I find something, and it goes with anything out there and for anyone out there, when you find something, whatever, it doesn't matter what it is, especially if it's useful. I mean, I can name anything. For example, it could be anything really, but I mean, obviously, and then there's a rarity scale that I have for it, right? It's something more rare, but you know, you always got to remember, for every time you find something, someone had to lose something, right? So whenever you lose something, remember that too, right? It's just like, you know, you drop your wallet, something along the lines of that, right? You don't get it back. Remember that someone actually found it too. So when you find, you know, I've been able to find like money before, right? I've also lost money like that too, right? So I always remember like, if I like, there was this one time that I like literally I went out. I was not even that far. Like, I'm at home right now. I barely left like not even a minute. Barely even a minute. It might have been even 30 seconds, right? Like, and I found this $10 bill, right? A lot of other times I'm like, I thought I had the cash with me, right? So I'm like, yeah. So I always remember that. I always remember the highs and lows of finding and losing or lost and found, right? Stuff like that. I think that goes with anything, right? You know, could be your headset or anything like that. Like even this other day, like last week before this heat came in. When was that? Oh yeah, it was on Saturday. I remember that. I was because I was visiting someone and they were ending the stream on Saturday, right? Okay, come back for the after show or whatever, right? However long, right? I went out for a walk. Technically I went walking, right? And I kind of dropped this headset that I'm wearing, like it's right next to me right here, like, and because I was crossing somewhere, right? And I didn't. I thought, like, I know I just had it, right? Because I just sat it down to have a drink of water, right? So I know I had it. I was retracing my steps and, like, I was like, no way, right? Then the place that literally I did not notice, it was sitting in the grass. I'm like, really? So I went this extra, like, 5-10 minutes for, like, nothing. When it was, like, right here, all I had to do was take a closer look. Right? The grass wasn't that tall, but I'm like, I can't believe I missed that. I mean, obviously, it's nice to know that I found it, but it's just one of those things, right? You know? Like, it could be cash, it could be whatever, right? Even your keys or whatever, right? Like, I wasn't meaning to do this as part of the live stream, but these are actually real examples of what had been happening, right? Because even when I was at my friend's place, right? They live in an apartment building or whatever, right? I was visiting them, right? Someone in their apartment who knows my friend too, it's a couple units down or whatever, right? Apparently they lost their unit key, quote unquote house keys, right? It says outside and I saw them, right? I was helping them out because they had their hands full. They're like juggling like wired headphones, a little bag that had a laptop or a tablet, like coffee and maybe some water, right? Oh, here, let me take the water, hold the water for you, right. I don't know if they ever found it. A couple hours later, they were talking and they still didn't find it, right? So they got to talk to the landlord, landlord and stuff like that. But yeah, that kind of sucks too, right? You know what I mean? Like you know you just had it and you're like, and you just can't see it. And, you retrace your steps and all that stuff. They were driving or whatever, right? I think I saw them in their vehicle just, like, tearing it apart, trying to find it, right? They're like, no way, right? Because it's just one of those things. And it can happen to anyone, really, if you think about it, right? Sometimes it's just that little thing, right? And sometimes it can be so silly as, like, oh, it dropped behind this and behind this, so I can see it, and it's behind something, and I can see it, and that kind of thing. Like, it almost felt like that with my headphones when I found them again. I'm like, really? Really? Because I think when I retraced my steps, I didn't go all the way back to this one spot, right? And I was like 5-10 feet away from it, and I just couldn't notice it, right? All right, because it's closer to sunset time, right? Even though it has white on it. Like, I was just like, really? I can't believe that. I can notice that. So, yeah. As I randomly just put this in my chat. I'll just randomly put that in my chat right now. I'll just randomly put that in my chat. As I explained it. But yeah, it was just like one of those things that was like, I can't believe that, so. We'll see how long I go for on this stream, I don't know. It'll be long enough, but it won't be that long. I gotta remember where I'm at. Oh yeah, it's almost the top hour. It's almost 10 Pacific, 1 a.m. Eastern. Boy. So yeah. Well, on the right side, I'm not hearing buzzing in the air. So yeah, I think that was the only mosquito. My goodness. Like I'm tempted, like I want to open this door that I have to let some air in, but I'm like, but if if there's another mosquito out there, yeah, it might want to come back in here, and I'll be back at square one on this again. I'll have to see, or maybe I'll just like slide outside and close the door behind me and go from there and stuff like that. Because I know it's a lot cooler outside than it is inside for me right now. So, like. I was almost tempted. Like, I'm sitting in a chair right now, right? I'm sitting in one of those camping chairs right now. I was almost thinking, maybe I should get a footrest. Right? Right? If I wasn't streaming, if I was just watching something, like, or whatever, like, YT or whatever, right? Or some reel or whatever, I'd be like falling asleep just because it's so comfy out here, right? It feels like, well, it doesn't feel like it feels like it's like closer to like that 72, 73 mark in here. 23, 24, not, feeling like it is inside. Where it feels like 80 plus, 27 Celsius plus, and stuff like that. I was just like, man. So, yeah. Because it almost feels like this heat's been, like, make me feel, like, lazy, right? Didn't do anything. Like, even now, like, if it wasn't so warm out, I'd probably show you guys a few things, but, just because they're outside. I'm pretty sure they're outside. I'm pretty sure they're outside. If I already seen one in here, felt one in here, amongst some other things, I'm like, yeah, there's probably more out there. So, yes, like I was saying earlier, I do appreciate everyone that dropped by on today's video. So appreciate it very, very much. Right? So. Now, if you saw today's video, keep in mind, I actually recorded that video this month for once. For once, I actually recorded a video that was posted for the month in the same month. Next couple of videos are not the case. They've been scheduled and been planned ahead for a while here. I got a mosquito bite on my knee. Just trying to not itch it. So I'm just putting that X in my leg right here. I'm not even kidding. Not even kidding. Without actually showing too much. Not even kidding. See. Right there. Just putting an X in there. It's just so override that itch sensation with pain, as they say. Alright. And when I get back inside, I'll put something on it. Cause I do have, I don't know, well, technically I do have a first aid kit out here. Because I actually brought one of my bags out here. I don't know if I have something specific for it in here. I could. Well, we'll see if it keeps itching. Maybe I won't need to use it. I mean, I got something in here to cut that itch down. If I really want to, yeah. Use some of it. Maybe now's a good time to use this. To use some of the supplies. Amongst some other things. Yeah, maybe this will help a bit. Yeah, I have a slight bump on my knee right now. So hopefully it'll help. Because I'm using the gear, right? No point in having the gear. You're not done using when you actually need it, right? So I think I might as well use it. Yeah, I might as well use it. I haven't shown this kid yet, but let's just say, I mean, it's nothing too complex. There's anything special in here. It's one of those, I think this is actually a Plano case. Yeah, that is. Yeah, it's one of those Plano cases. I've had this for a while. I used to run this first aid kit before that was pouch, but I didn't like that pouch so much because it was like almost like a dump bag style, one compartment only, and I just didn't like it. I mean, it was technically a first aid kit. I mean, technically, I still had that pouch, but I just didn't like the organization of it compared to this hard plain old case. A little bit more organized, although it's more constricting, not constricting, but more rigid because it's a rigid case, right? You know, and stuff like that. Like, see, got the gloves on the outside, so I can, just pull this off, grab them right away, right? But even going into the case itself, right? Nothing special. It's just I decided to do that because I seen other people doing this kind of thing, right? Having their stuff on the outside, their gloves on the outside, are readily accessible, right? And stuff like that. So I'm like, you know what? I'll do that too. And it saves me having to put the stuff that on the inside of the kit. So I haven't had to use these yet, but I could just be like, because it's just sealed down. It's just sealed down with tape, right, or held down with tape, so I can just pull off the tape, open the package, grab the gloves out, and use them if absolutely necessary, right? So the deployment of something like this is much quicker in comparison to what I had it as before. Because I remember when I first started using that pouch type first aid kit, I was just like, for what it was, specifically not the one I used to have, which no one's seen because I didn't like it that much. I was just like, I think because when I was starting to using it, it's just like, there was no organization, and the deployment of any part of said gear within it was not that fast. Not that fast. Now, in terms of volume, this actually is less room compared to that pouch, but this is more organized. So I decided, I'm like, you know what? I'll sacrifice a little bit of room, space, volume for more organization and quicker deployment because the organization is a little bit more sound than compared to that other one, right? And it'll hold it together a lot better anyways, and it's, more transparent in terms of I can actually see what's in here, right? There's nothing major, but I might actually do an update on this when I get a chance. Right, it's got some stuff in here. I might actually update this one of these days, maybe over the winter or whatever, right? Something I've been working on. I actually have used this from time to time, every so often, maybe some of this, I need to check on some of this stuff anyways. Some of the bandages in here. Actually, I'm actually thinking about it right now, just because, if not updated, maybe updated to a different case with more capacity or more volume. Yeah, not sacrifice that organization, right? Because I really don't want to sacrifice the organization of it. I think this is why I've kept it like this for a while, because it's just so nice, right? It's just like I could just pull stuff out easily and like quickly, right? The deployment of it was really quick, right? When the times I've had to use this, right? Nothing major. Like I said, I haven't even used the gloves since I've set the gloves up in this. But if necessary, it's there, right? For whatever the reason is when I'm traveling. On the road, walking, biking, whatever, right? Stuff like that. Now this did not come with me when I was out on my travels in the last couple of days. I had another version of it, kind of more slimmed down version of it, right? But this is more like, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily call it an EDC version of it, but something along the lines of that. Hey, Nick. How's it going, Nick? I was just like, hey, if I do this late night stream, I wonder who's gonna join it. Because I was just like, yeah, probably Nick. Here I am, saying hi to Nick now. What is up, Nick? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, that's why I was just like, just looking at this. I'm like, yeah, I got it. I'm not even thinking about it right now. Yeah, because I've been able to acquire some additional things lately since making this kit, so that's why I was just like, maybe I should actually consider on it, update it a little bit more. And stuff like that, and just go from there, right? Ugh, and I still hear some bugs, but it's not so bad now. I feel like maybe getting this first aid kit is helping. My knee's not itching so much right now, like it was earlier. Maybe I'll take a look too. I think, oh yeah, it's subsiding. The bump's subsiding, so, and it's not causing me to itch it so much, so, which is nice. Which is nice. See, I know I hear something else, but I think it's a fly, and not a mosquito. I think, but, these mosquitoes are so small and it's nighttime. I mean, I have a light on, but, I'll probably hear them before I see them, probably, right? Or feel them before I see them. You doing well? Really? Oh, yeah, I appreciate that, Nick. Yeah, you saw that short? I posted it on Wednesday at the time of this recording. Shout out to the replay gang, alright? Yeah. Well, Nick, if you look at today's video, as in the 29th for August, yeah, you'll see some more clips of that. Extended clips, of that. And the thing is, I actually, when I'm shooting that kind of, like, recording that kind of stuff, like, you gotta keep in mind sometimes, because I'm coming so close to them, right, sometimes I will scare them away, so sometimes I'll have to come back and re-record it again, right, or, like, I start recording it and I barely get a second or two, right, so, like, when you see some of these longer clips of it, remember that sometimes I'm actually standing there for it, trying to get it, so it allows you guys to see a close-up version of it, right? And this is without any special lenses, right? No macro lenses or anything like that, or whatever, right? Or optical zoom, amongst some other things, right? Because when I'm recording it, I'm like always like, okay, focus on it, right? So you could see some detail. Because I don't even know until I start to review the footage afterwards, right? I'm just like, is this gonna be good enough, right? Because I was just like thinking to myself, I'm like, please tell me it's in focus, right? Because sometimes like the glare of the sun or whatever I'm doing is, or whatever, right? And I'm like, I think I'm in focus, right? So sometimes I just like, I'll just record it and hope for the best. I'll be like, oh, hopefully this is good enough. So I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, Nick. Appreciate it, yeah. Yeah, the last video, I mean, I'm not going to spoil it that much, but, I mean, I guess I could say a few things, right? In terms of what the editing process of it, right? Because I was just, like, trying to think of something to pull in together, right? I was just, like, the music is actually from the YouTube audio library, right? It just happens to have the word yellow in it as part of the title, right? I'm like, okay, I'll roll with this, right? But I'm like, I was trying to, when you see it, right? I was actually trying to match the beat, like whatever you're hearing, like, ba ba ba, with the effects on screen, or like the transitions or the scene change on screen as much as possible. So when you see the beginning, you'll realize that I actually had to set that up separately. Like, I actually had to set up these clips separately, then splice them back together, right? As much as possible, right? That's why there's every so often there might have been like what's known as a speed ramp or a speed reduction or speed up, right? Just so because I needed timing well on it, right? That's why when you see it, this is why it occurs in this way, right? Because when you first see this intro, you'll be like, oh, yeah, right. is when you'll see this scene where I start to bring the main part of it in, and just like and you start to notice it a lot more, right? As much as possible. Something I whipped up. Well, actually, all the footage is from this month, right? But basically, I whipped up that video since today's Friday, since like last Monday. So 11, 12 days ago, right? I already had the footage, right? I just had to put it all together. I was just like thinking, I'm like, how am I gonna put this together, right? Right? I don't know what to say for it, and I don't want to talk just voice over it the whole thing, right? I need some music in there this time around, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna find some music and make this like a music video. Keep busy with it, right? It'll be the flower music video. I should have named it the flower music video. Now that I think about it, I should have named it the flower music video. Because even right now, to be honest, I will be honest, that Sunflower is out right now. I'm just working on the footage, putting it together, right, for you guys. You won't see it for a little bit because I actually have videos for September, all September now. So you won't see the Sunflower till October. I might actually reschedule one of the videos in October to put in Sunflower video, so I'll have to wait for it. Because I'm doing a bunch of prepping type videos for next month, so for September. And those are set in stone because I've decided to add those in. In previous years, I haven't done that. I usually do the harvest videos in September, but I'm like, this year I've added some in, so some of the harvest videos will have to wait. So, but that's how it is, right? We'll see. I mean, there may be a bonus video in September. I don't know. We'll see. Because I already recorded all the videos for next month. Like, they're already scheduled, like, and stuff like that. Like, they're already there, right? And I actually want them at that time of year. Well, for next month, right? So, I'm just like, well, okay, right? So, if there's a bonus video for next month, well, then there is one. If there isn't, then there isn't, right? I'll have to see. I'll have to check the schedule that I have for all the videos right now and see what I can squeeze in and what I can reschedule or delay slightly a little bit and see and play around with the schedule a little bit more. Because currently right now, excluding today's video, because it's already out, I got another 12 videos on the channel lined up. Couple shorts lined up too. Some interesting little things here and there, right? I'm working on something for October. That's basically what I'm doing. I feel like I got the rumor it's like the 29th, pretty much the 30th now, right? Pretty much the end of August, right? September's rolling around, like, literally around the corner after this weekend, right? So, I gotta start working on some of this content, right? Like, if I don't, I still have something on the channel, but I want to show you folks, you guys out there, right? Some of the gardening stuff too, right? I just had to wait for them. When I say them, I mean them, as in, like, more than one. I'm just like, yeah, so I have to wait for them, right? And since I had no idea how it's going to turn out, right? I have no idea how the plant's going to turn out in the beginning of the year. I planned it ahead to have some videos just in case, all right? All the videos for next month, for September, I've had them scheduled on the channel for the last, like, month or so, right? They're been post-dated for a while now, right? But because of that, it allows me to have more time to, like, set up some of this other stuff. Like, you know, I know Nick used, like, yeah. Let me highlight that, right? Huh? Nick said that to me, right? Well, to be able to do something like that, I gotta have time to do something like that, right? And I feel pressured, like, you know, it's Wednesday, I gotta put out a video on Friday because I have no video, right? That kind of thing. Then I feel pressured, then I feel like, you know, whatever I have is what I have, right? And I get it, sometimes it is what it is, but I'm like, I'm trying to put some quality. Is quality the word I'm looking for? Yeah, okay, maybe quality or something along the lines of that, right? As much as possible, right? And, you know, and stuff like that. And sometimes, you know, sometimes it's about timing too, right? I go out in the garden area or whatever, right? If I see something, then I see it. Hopefully, I have my device to record it on, right? Because sometimes I'm charging it up, right? It's inside, and by the time I get back outside, it's gone, right? So sometimes it's all about luck, timing too, right? And actually having the ability to record, right? You know, my phone's not always technically on me all the time. Sometimes I'm, doing that thing called plugging it in and like doing something else, right? You know what I mean? So that's why it's like, yeah. I actually really appreciate that, Nick. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. Dang, you know what? Screw it. I know what I'm gonna do right here. Straight up, straight up. Straight up, straight up. I'll give you that. That the tools to help you. I appreciate that. That convinced me right there. That convinced me right there. I appreciate that. One of the reasons, anyways. But yeah, that's why it's just like, yeah, because I've been trying to do some of this other content, right? Like, right now, like, no, I'm almost like, technically, it is possible for me to finish off the calendar year soon for videos if I chose to. We'll see. We'll see how far advanced, along I go, right? You know. The next live stream, I'll be like, "Hey guys, guess what? I got videos for 2026." You'll be like, "What?" You'll be like, "Dang!" All right, but yeah. Because the thing is, I've started to understand that in the springtime, right? I have to wait for everything. All right, I don't know the timing of it, and I don't like per se when it will occur at times. All right, aside from starting seats inside, right? So like, I when I was thinking about that earlier this year and even last year to a certain degree, I was just like, you know what? I think I need some videos in advance, like a buffer zone of videos. That way I can actually have the time to record certain things and allow, well, Mother Nature to melt the snow in April, March or April, or for the flowers or the blooms or the fruit to occur in the late August, September, fall time, right? So I have to wait for that. I can't speed it up in real time, right? I can't speed that up, so I have to wait for it. So therefore, having some videos in advance, a buffer zone, has been helping me. At least I find it helps, at least for what I've been doing, right? I know some other people, the results may vary or whatever, right? But I've always been convinced, I mean, I'm a little bit biased on it, but convinced about like a buffer zone of videos in advance, right? Or batch record a bunch in advance, right? Because it allows you to, like, to a certain degree, to have some flexibility on your schedule. And not only that, like, I didn't actually have a chance to go camping this year, but this allows me to go visit people for days or whatever, a week or whatever. It gives me a chance to go out, to enjoy, time with other people, visit other people, help other people out too, right? Without actually having to be so locked down, okay, tied down to the channel so much, right? Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the content, making the content for you guys or whatever, right? But, real life too, right? I still gotta do stuff, right? Like, one of my other followers who I follow, right, a little bit bigger or whatever, like, he posted a video earlier about saying taking time off from YT for a bit, right? I mean, I'm not gonna spoil that video, but it's a 5-minute video, right? And they were talking about it, right? And how they have to do some other things in the real world first, right? And they gotta do their stuff in the real world first, right? I'm like, yeah. What did I say? I think, of course I said hi to them, right? I was like, yeah, I totally get it, right? Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do at times, right? Like, at times they know about the batch recording and all that scheduling, right? But, there's kind of been some things in the real world are kind of like catching up or been put on the back burner too long, right? So they're just kind of taking a little bit of not hiatus, but a little time away from YT for a little bit, right? In terms of the content itself, right? The comments, yeah, you could pick up a phone and reply, right? For fairly easy, but to actually record, edit, even if you're not editing, just to record and put it out, right? There's still some time, so because you still have to put the camera on or whatever on a tripod, record it to some degree, right? And hopefully no one calls you when you're recording. It's like, oh great, I gotta record this segment again because someone called, right? I gotta record the whole segment again, right? Because like obviously I'm not gonna like post when I'm talking on the phone with someone personally, talking about personal stuff. Yeah, that's not the way, right? So okay, take two, right? And stuff like that. That's just like, so I'm just remembering that. I'm like, yeah, I can totally get it. Maybe I'll get a reply from them the next day, Saturday or Sunday this weekend. It's all good. It's all good. And I get that, alright? I mean, they've been doing their channel longer than I've been doing this channel. I mean, I was on YouTube before a lot of you guys. I've explained this before. I used to run a different channel, right? But it's just like, stuff like that. Because I think in the beginning, at times, you have lots of ideas, right? But as time goes on, it's just like, like trying to think of something new to show or like to rehash to a certain degree, right? Something interesting or whatever to change the flow or the feel, right, of it, right? Like even right now, I'm just like trying to get a new feel for some of these harvesting or gardening type videos, right? Where I'm just trying to like to give it something else, right? And stuff like that. So that's why I took the time to some of these close-up views, these wide shots, of certain little things, certain selective camera angles, right? That normally, if you were actually here, you wouldn't be able to see it in the real world because they're like above or well below, right? Or well within, really close up, right? You wouldn't be able to physically see that with your eyes, right? You would have to zoom in or whatever, right? Be closer up to it or be on a step ladder or something like that or on the view on like or whatever, right? Like even today's video was like that. There's some angles in there that I'm stretching out with a selfie stick or tripod or whatever, right? And I'm hoping, like, I can't even see the display to see what I'm looking at or whatever, right? I'm like, I hope it's in focus, right? I'm hoping I can capture what I want to show, right? Like some sort of pollinator on a flower or whatever, right? I'm like, I hope this is in frame. Hopefully enough of the footage, hopefully enough length of the footage so I can use it, right? Some parts of it, right? And what you don't realize is that I'm starting to record even before like I move the camera, right? So I have like all this extra footage that's like I'm not gonna even use because this is like because I need a rolling start for the footage, right? And basically I'll just not crop, but I'll splice it out, right? I'll splice it out in post production, right? So I was just like, yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed making that video, today's video for you guys. I actually did enjoy it. It just came together very, very nicely. Especially once I got the soundtrack down. Like, literally, once I had the sound, the music in this case, because I was listening to it, right, it took me like 10 minutes to find something. Because I had to listen to it. I'm like, okay, I think I can make this work, right? But as soon as I had the music, everything else came together like click, right? It's just like next thing, and the progress keeps going on, right? And where I'm just like, and the next thing I know, like how long it takes, I got a finalized video to use, right? Where and it actually goes well, right? And then couple little extra things, thumbnail, title, whatever, description, hashtags, whatever, all that stuff, right? And the next thing you know, it's scheduled, right? But that's because I have the time to because I am scheduling. I'm not in so much rush, right? Like crunch time, right? It's like, you can, let's say today's Friday, right? Today's Friday at the time of this recording / Saturday morning, whatever, right? Shout out to the replay game. If that's like, you're in school, high school, whatever, right? And your teacher's like, hey, okay, it's Friday, guys. Have a good weekend. Remember, we got a test on Monday, right? So study hard, right? So instead of like cramming on Sunday night, Monday morning, do a little bit in advance, right? A little bit here and there, right? Easier said than done at that time when you're a teenager or even in college, right? But that kind of thinking, if you think about it like that, that's how I'm trying to apply it to the channel, right? As a content creator and having some stuff in advance as much as possible. Yeah, exactly, Nick, yeah. Well, it depends, Nick. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes the footage, the content just writes itself so easily, right? And just like boom, boom, boom. Especially, let's say, if I have a specific vision for it, maybe some music to help it along, right? Because the music kind of helps it along. Because I've made, quote unquote, and I use this very loosely, music video, that concept of it, right? Stuff like that. Because even commercial, high artist type of music videos, right? Yeah, there's a high production value, right? Lots of takes, right? But like usually, what the artist who's performing or whatever, right? They're jamming to it, right? They're having fun with it, right? Because the music kind of keeps you want to keep moving in terms of like, let's say a music video. It could be whatever, right? Out there, R&B, rap, whatever, hip hop or anything like that. Country music, pop music, whatever, right? Instrumental or whatever, right? Even the soundtrack, right? There's something about that, right? Because there's a flow to it, right? The beats of it, the energy of the music, right? Like if it's cinematic music or anything like that, right? There's to put that all together, right? It probably takes more time to come up with like original soundtrack OST, right? Or to compose the music, right? So, because someone's got to think about like how that's gonna pull it together, right? But then you start getting that, then you start to get the feel of it, and next thing you know, it just it starts to come together. Like that initial hurdle, you're gonna jump, but the next couple are lower and lower because like you can maintain momentum. If that makes any sense, right? You can keep the momentum going. Like even today, for me, to be honest, like I got this video I gotta edit still, right? You won't see it for a while, right? I'm gonna explain what it is, but in terms of like the technical side of it, like I'm actually trying to think of like a way to put it together, right? I've kind of made like a temporarily like rough copy of it, right? I don't have the flow yet in it, and I don't have any music or any voice with it yet. I had the footage, right? I'm just trying to put something together on my. I don't know. I might actually have to go find some music on the YouTube library, YouTube library, or some sort of open source music or or something like that, and just try to find something that will work with it for the timing that I have, right? Because if it's a 3-minute video, well, then I need 3 minutes of footage, right? Whatever it is, right? 2 minutes, whatever, right? So, just to get you guys feeling that kind of the mood of it a lot more. Yeah. About the camera, yeah. At least not yet, anyways, right? Closer, but not quite, all right? Because even in the future, it'll probably still be like that to a certain degree, right? It'll come closer, but maybe not quite like seeing it with your own eyes yet. Not quite, right? Close. It's closer, right? Because the resolution's higher, right? But like, not quite the resolution of real life, right? 4K, 8K, 16K, right? Still not the resolution of real life, right? Right? If you think about it, right? Even with, in digital enhancement, whatever, that kind of deal, right? There is our visual enhancement, yeah, still, right? That's just adding a bunch of zeros and ones in, placeholders and filling the blanks kind of deal, right? Very a little bit, but very still different compared to seeing it in the real world with your own eyes, right? It's just like plants or whatever, right? Yeah, I can see them in videos, books, pictures or whatever, but seeing it in the real world is different for me. And that's why I need this at times. I've talked to art gardeners sometimes, like, I need to see this in the real world too, right? So I can see a more three-dimensional view of it. Touch it too, to a certain degree. Obviously not poison ivy, but it could be a tomato plant or something like that, right? Where I start to identify it by looking at it, right? Or a strawberry, a sunflower, for example, right? You know, where like I can actually notice them a lot better because I've actually seen them with my actual eyes, not on video, not in pictures, but with my own eyes in front of me. Like, it's next to me, I can almost touch it kind of deal, right? That's why I'm just like, yeah. Right? That's why I've been trying in some of these videos at times to present that, where you feel like you're seeing it for yourself, or like getting close up to it, right? So you can see it for yourself and see these very intricate structures of like a flower or something like that, right? Or you could see some detail in it, right? And understand something like that. See the pollen to a certain degree. Right? I'm not saying, it'd probably be different to have if I can zoom in or like close up view or with a macro lens, right, to get a closer view of it. But for now, this is what I got, right? What the tech I got right now, right? If I had something closer, yeah, I'd show you guys a little bit closer, some even zoomed in, higher quality close-ups, right? Just to get, it's like, if I think about it, I wouldn't be able to get my face that close to probably to a flower that has a bee on it. Probably not, but the camera can help me at least see it to a certain degree, right? Because, like, literally, sometimes I'm like 2 inches away from the flower. Or alright, you know what I mean? So, like, stuff like that. So, and like I said, a lot of that stuff was like just overall bunch of different days too, right? Some of that footage, actually, today's video, wow, that I just released here on the 29th of August, because it's a blend of pictures with video. All that stuff is on different days, different weeks too, right? So I'm compiling it together into like a summary of it, right? And it takes time. Well, it just takes time anyways because I have to wait for it, right? It's just like the gardening stuff. I can't, I can show you guys what it happens at the end, but I want to show you guys a little bit of progress forward or something else that happened on a different day, right? And just kind of splice it all together and be like, as an overall thing, right? Because it's basically, I'm showing the same plant here, right? Or same version of the plant, whatever it is, right? Whatever flower it is, right? So you guys can actually see that for yourself and go from there, right? And try to see it for yourself. Like, if you want to do this plant identification thing, maybe it might work, right? I know sometimes, and stuff like that. Add in some stuff like that, right? Because I've tried some of the plant identification apps or whatever, right? Images or whatever. Sometimes it works. Sometimes maybe not so much. It depends how crowded it is. I think if you only have one plant in the picture, it seems to work better. But and if it's like a certain like height or state and that's in or in its life cycle, yeah. Because I've had other times where I've tried. I mean, I haven't tried them all, but where I'm like, I showed this. I'm like, no, it's not a sunflower. I know it's not. It's I was like, I think it's sunflower. I'm like, no, I know it's not a sunflower, right? I've grown the sunflowers enough now, and I've recorded the footage so many times now, and of course I'm editing the footage too. So I'm like looking at it all the time too, in the real world and on video, etc. And on other people's videos. Then I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not a sunflower. Right? It's something else, right? But the app's like, I think it's a sunflower. I'm like, no, I know it's not a sunflower. Right? I'm pretty sure it's not, right? I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just saying, right? So yeah, that's why it's like, yeah. Like even right now, right? I'm just like, I don't think, I don't think, you know. But basically, like right now, I'm working on the sunflower video for you guys. All right. Yes, you heard it first. I get. Oh, dang! I just said it. Well, you'll have to wait for the footage, because I'm compiling it together. I think you guys will be interested in it. I was interested in it, even seeing it in the real world for myself, right? I'll show you guys. I mean, obviously, eventually you folks will see the clips on it and stuff like that, right? Let's see. Other little pieces of it. I'm just trying to add a little bit more into it, just to give you guys a more fuller experience of it, right? As much as possible. And some words that I'll add in there. And maybe some a soundtrack or some music to just carry the feel forward. Because I don't know if I can just talk over and voice over a whole section like that. Like, I don't even know what to say still. I'm just like, I'm still thinking about it. So even this afternoon when I was still doing the prototype of it, I was still working on it, yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? In real time, you wouldn't be able to, like, there's this thing I did start doing this before a couple years ago. I did this for some of the airplanes, right, where I show something you can't see in the real world because it's over several days or weeks of time, right? Like a time lapse, you can't see that in real time, right? The only way you can see, like, you would have to be like looking at every single day, then you would notice and remember what it looked like the day before, because you're in the same location looking at this, right? That's why, like, if you go on a vacation for a couple days or whatever, you come back, it's like, oh, the plants grew so much bigger. I'm like, yeah, because they are actually doing that. It's because you've been away so long that you the last time you saw it, it was a couple inches smaller. It didn't flower yet, whatever, right? But you know what I mean? Because I've experienced that before. So I'm just going to show you guys that kind of feel of it, right? I kind of like that, actually. But remember, that takes time. Something like that, time lapse, that kind of stuff takes more time. And actually takes more time to do than showing a final image or a final product of it, right? Because I'm showing you guys, like, progression, like, in terms of, like, day-to-day, whatever, week-to-week, whatever, right? So, but because of that, well, I gotta be here to show it. I gotta be here to record it, right, or whatever, right? So taking these little mini vacations or visiting people, right? Well, I need time for that, but because I've been scheduling, I can have time for these other little things to bring the production value a little bit higher to a certain degree. You know what's funny, Nick? I'll tell you one thing. I am trying out this editing app. Like, literally, I tried it today. I just literally just downloaded it, like, earlier this afternoon. Right? No, not even this afternoon. When was it? This evening, actually. Right? I think it was around 6, 7 o'clock, right? Local time for me. I was just trying it out, right? Now, I mean, I'm not. This is not a review on it, but I was just like, there's some paid stuff on it or whatever, right? I get that, just like some other apps at times, right? And I was actually personally surprised how much I could do on it, right? I mean, I obviously I get some knowledge on it, right? So like, the learning curve's not that high on it for me, right? It's more like, what does this do? Or what's in the menu, right? I'm like trying to look. Ooh, let's see the list of transitions. Some of them are free, then some of them are like are on part of the subscription or premium service package only or service only on it. But I'm like, this ain't so bad, right? I've seen better, and this is kind of limited. But then there's other functionality where I'm like, oh, I can use that somewhere. Maybe I can use that somewhere, right? Because I was just like, I'm always looking to add some more functionality in there, and add some pizzazz in there, a little bit more, right? And stuff like that. Especially if I'm making certain videos, right? Certain videos, right? Although there is one thing that I actually did like about this one app that I started to use. It actually has auto caption or captions in it. I know some people use them in their videos or reels or shorts or whatever. I usually don't use them in the video portion so much. It depends when I'm doing or showing, but usually on the shorts, on the short form content, I might. There's an app for it, they got an app for it, No. But I mean, I can manually do it if I really wanted to. It just takes more time, right? You know what I mean? Like I've seen apps where you can just put in a bunch of footage, pictures, video, or whatever, and it'll compile something together as a video, right? And I've tried that stuff, right? I mean, it's okay. Yeah, you can get a video out of it in like 2 seconds flat, right? With no knowledge of editing whatsoever, right? But the thing is, you also lack customization, individuality with it, and your own kind of flair to it, right? Where you don't get that from something that's automated like that, right? Because it's predetermined in advance through whatever it uses to set that up, right? Because I've tried this before, right? Because people have asked me before, it's like, what do you use for editing? So, I'm like, oh, I tried this and that and this and that. I mean, and everyone's like, oh, I'm just looking for something easy and quick. I'm like, yeah, well, there's apps for doing that, right? And yeah, you can do something on it, but you'll realize, like, unless you pay a little bit more or whatever, right, you won't get the customization you might want, if that makes any sense, right? That's like the difference between having like a stock type of like car versus something that's been souped up, customized, right? That expresses your individuality with decals, a spoiler, wheels, spinning rims, whatever, that kind of deal. That I don't have, by the way. I'm just using an example, right? Because I think everyone's seen the car films and all that stuff, the racing films and all those movies, right? Where, these souped up vehicles and stuff like that, right? Like, because it's part of the individuality, if you think about it, of the run, riding, well, controlling it, right? Your own flair in terms of even color too, right? Because I've tried these automatic, oh, let's make a video automatically, right? And yeah, I could do certain little things, but sometimes I'm just like, it doesn't work exactly how I want it. Timing is slightly off at times with the music I'm putting into, or I'm just like, I don't want it to fade in, or I don't want it to fade out there. I don't want this transition. That looks stupid, right? I wanted this, but I can't because it's automated, right? Where if I was doing it manually, I could have more control over it in terms of like having it done is where my vision of it would be like. I'd be like, I want it to fade in and then be like, and do this, cross cut or something like that, or something like that, right? Because even with some of the more popular apps out there, right? Sometimes I'm just like, I've tried them, but I'm like, yeah, sometimes they're just like, and not all of them are bad, not all of them are great, right? You know, some of them have their pros and cons. Some of them are not free. Some of them have a watermark. Some of them you have to pay for. Some of them have you have a subscription. Some of them have a premium service only package. Some of them have only premium assets that are only available if you pay, right? And stuff like that. And like, I always like look at them and like, too bad not any one of them can do it all at times, or if you where it's like an all in one, right? Sometimes I'm always thinking, I'm like, but I like that effect better. It would work better for this video, but it's not in this app, right? Where I'm like, all right, I have to transition to something else. All right, take care, Nick. Yeah, I'll catch you later. I'll catch you later in the day, Nick. I appreciate you dropping by, man. Always. It's cool. You're cool. Cool with you. But that's what I mean. Like, it's just like, where I'm just like, where am I going with this, right? Kind of deal, right? Jeez. I've been sitting in that chair so long that like I'm sweating on my backside. Like, so I'm gonna stand up. Open the door quickly here and shut the door behind me so I don't let the bugs back in to where I was. Stand outside for a little bit. It's a lot cooler out here. Actually, it's a lot better. Yeah, it's a lot cooler out here. I feel like I could, like you said earlier, I feel like if it wasn't dark already and among some other things, I'd set up a tent, sleep outside. Alright. It's a lot cooler outside. Alright. Providing I have protection against the insects and mosquitoes or netting or whatever, you know, I'd be good with it. I'd be good with it. But yeah. Yeah. See, the video I did today, like what I showed today, those flowers, like I'm standing beside one of them right now. I only have one of the flowers still up on the plant. The other ones have already been spent, so like, I can even show you it right now because the flowers are actually spent on it. Right. So all this recording I did in the past, like 4 weeks, 5 weeks since the beginning of like the last week of July, I'm like, I had it stored on my device and, well, presented to you guys like I did earlier today in the video. Let's see, where am I at? Yeah, okay, it's almost the top of the hour again. Let's see how long I go for. I think I'll probably go to that 2 hour mark. Probably. Unless for some reason I start talking about something else again. Or go on a tangent. Or someone shows up. Could happen. Probably not. But it could happen. Right? As I check on some plants out here. With my flashlight still. I don't think I have my flashlight out here with me. No, it's still sitting inside. I had to get it, but I just don't want to. I have the door shut, so when I go back in there, not all the bugs are just gonna follow me behind. No way, right? But yeah, it's really nice out here. It's actually nice and cool. Well, I wouldn't say cool, but it's cooler than it was earlier in the day. It's definitely cooler than it is inside. Because after the stream's done, once I go back inside, I'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot it's this warm inside. It's a lot cooler outside, right? I mean, I could see the tops of the trees, they're not moving. I mean, I can barely even feel a breeze well in the wind, right? So, but the temperature is cooler out here right now, for now. I got the windows open just to let the heat out, or, to transfer the heat out, right? And stuff like that. And then in the morning or whatever, whenever I wake up, let's say 8, 9, whatever, in the morning, whatever it is, right? Close the windows again. Just to keep the heat from coming back in. Basically cool down the place. So, like, it's like a cooler, right? You go camping, picnicking, whatever, event, grill party, I don't know, some sort of party, whatever, with adult beverages or whatever, right? Yeah, you keep the cooler closed, right? Because you want to isolate the cold away from the heat, right? Because obviously heat transfers from hot to cold, right? So right now it's cooler outside than indoor temperature, so I want that heat to migrate outwards or cool down interior temperature. In a cooler, you want to keep that heat from penetrating or getting into the cooler, right? So you limit how often you open it. You keep it shut, you keep it closed, right? Obviously ice, whatever, dry ice in there to keep it cold, right? And stuff like that. To preserve it, right? Preserve that coolness in this case, right? Technically, it's still summer for another couple more weeks. So, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, it is nice out here, though. Yeah, actually, it is clear outside. I could see some of the stars. Can do. Not all the way, but I can notice them. I can't show you guys because it's way too faint on camera to notice it. You know, trying to notice if I see the Big Dipper, Northern Star, North Star, amongst some other things. I know I'm not gonna see certain little things because it's way past sunset now. So I'm not seeing like, Mercury, Venus, or Mars. Well, I know I'm not gonna see Venus. Right. I ain't seeing the morning or the evening star right now. That's for sure. It's not that time right now. At best, I know sometimes later, sometimes I can see like Jupiter or Saturn to a certain degree, right? But no, I don't see them right now. And stuff like that. If you see a red dot in the sky, remember that's probably Mars you're seeing. Right. I was always interested in space. Right. I was always interested in space. And stuff like that. Like even when I was like trivia or like Q&A or stuff like that. Yeah, because I still watch documentaries like that every so often. I was always interested in it, even when I was young. Actually, yeah, I've almost always been interested in it, even when I was younger. Right? Some sort of observatory or whatever. Right? I remember that when I was young. That was so cool. I mean, stuff like that. I never owned a telescope though. But I always find it interesting because it is part of the environment too, right? That kind of further out environment, but not the local zoned environment, but it's out there, right? Because it is part of that big neighborhood, right? As they say, big cosmic neighborhood, right? And stuff like that. So when people are talking about like CMEs or whatever, I'm like, oh yeah, right, yeah, coronal mass ejections among some other things. I know some of the preparedness community talks about that, but yeah, I know I'm familiar with that because I've learned about it, educated myself upon it, and stuff like that. Stuff like that, you know. So stellar navigation, right? Well, if you're able to see the stars, right? I think we gotta be in a new moon cycle. I don't see it. The moon's not out. I do not see it, right? Stuff like that. You know, obviously if it was like somewhere else, I probably could see the stars better. But we're in, yeah. I think, yeah. I'm pretty sure we're in a new moon cycle right now. So, unless it's no, I don't think no, I don't think it's behind any of these trees. No, no. I think we're in a new moon cycle as far as I know. We're coming into it. So that's why I can't see it right now. I haven't been able to see it in the last couple of nights. So, just the stars. Especially on a more clear day night like this. Okay. As I tried to remember the constellations. I gotta like brush up on that stuff. I feel like I'm a little rusty at it. Right? Yeah. Let's see, what's my time at? Oh, it's almost the top hour. Yeah, I think I'll go right to that 2 hour mark. 20 more minutes or so. 20 more minutes. We're at the bottom of the next hour. One or the other. Not both. Well, actually, it would be both. I go to the bottom of the hour, but no longer than that, though. No longer than that, though. Because, well, first of all, I'm gonna wake up early to water some more plants again before the heat of the day comes back again. Because I think tomorrow is supposed to be a couple degrees cooler. It'll still be in the high 80s. It'll still probably be like 29, 30 Celsius, though. And I'm pretty sure, I have to check, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be clear out for Saturday here. So, yeah, I want to make sure I get up early enough to water. Right? Get the plants some water in the morning before the main heat of the day exists, right? Some of these container plants I have to water them and stuff like that a lot more because they have less surface area. Well, surface area, less volume to absorb water in the first place because they have less soil in them. Let's go back inside here. Quickly shut the door so mosquitoes don't come in. Right? Don't let the bugs in, right? Always gotta remember that. Yeah. Put the mice back in here. And supposedly I have one person here. Supposedly. I'm not sure who's listening. Someone's listening to me randomly. Someone's listening to me. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah. And so I was just like, stuff like this. I don't mention it on my videos usually, right? Because it's like, well, first of all, I'm not gonna mention that, like, I'm looking at the stars when I'm, like, in the middle of the day, showing, like, a flower. Probably not, right? And there are little things, like this late night stream, yeah, I can mention it just because it's more applicable, right? It's more applicable right now. It's definitely more applicable right now. Shine a light around just to see if I don't hear a bug or a mosquito bug. No, I don't think I hear one. If I do, it's small or maybe it's a fly. I don't know. One or two. I can't tell. So yeah, as I keep going here. Now, most likely I'll probably watch a couple videos before I hit the hay, or maybe if an idea pops into my head, maybe I'll make another revision on some videos I have. I have project files I've been working on, right? I got some time to work on them, right? I got all September to work on them, right? So that gives me plenty of time to take enough pictures of the remaining things I have still or whatever, right? Because that's the thing. Not only is the sunflower video that you'll eventually see from me whenever that shows up, right? You gotta remember that I grew more than one. And they don't all bloom at the same time, right? So like I'm actually waiting for it too still for some of them. Right? So I want to show you guys more than one, right? I'm hoping to fill it in. Maybe I'll take some like creative inspiration from my own video that I posted earlier today. Well, it's past midnight from a lot of places on Friday here, on the 29th of August, right? Maybe I'll take some creative inspiration from it and go from there. Let's see. I'm still working on it. I'm just seeing which footage I want to use or images I want to use throughout it, right? some of the more core aspects of it I've set up already, right? There's something like, and I'm actually trying to present in a not new version, but new visual representation of it. A little bit more, something I might pull in. I thought it was kind of interesting, you know. Like I actually like added into some text already that says time lapse. Right? Right? Because I was just like, I'm like, on the YouTube side, like, it always says, like, was this altered or whatever? I'm like, I always have to be like, yes, no, I mean, like, you know. I'm like, always thinking, wait, it's not a yes or no on this one. Some of it's easy enough to answer, right? And I'm like, am I doing a DIY? Yeah, no, it wasn't altered, right? But some of this other stuff, I'm like, maybe I need to add that in to actually say it will be yes, because of time lapse, right? Because I've experienced it before where I've shown a time lapse and it's like, you know, it got categorized as like, you know, not realistic, even though it was just a time lapse. You would see it in real life over over a period of 30 minutes, not 5 seconds, right? Because I posted a short earlier this year, back in the springtime, of something like that, right? You know, and it's just like I had that. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever, it's fine. You know, I'll work with it, roll with it, right? And just go from there. Keep going, right? As much as possible. Top up my phone while I'm at it. Yeah, it's down to 35. Hopefully get it back into that 50 range, where I keep charging it for a bit, especially if I'm done do something. But yeah. And so much night, I'm like not even breaking a sweat anymore. And the thing is, I'm actually wearing like not just a t-shirt and shorts. I'm actually wearing pants. Right. Speak of which, oh yeah, nice. See, I had this bump from a mosquito bite on my knee, right? It's kind of faded away now. Doesn't even itch so much. Barely even itches, right? So, whatever. So, a little thing that I added from that first aid kit totally helped, right? Because now I'm not itching it, right? It's not getting like worse, right? Because I know I've seen some people develop quote unquote hives or whatever, right? And it kind of sucks, right? You know, especially the itching part of it, right? That's why, like, when I was showing it earlier, I'm trying to override that itch sensation with pain. So hopefully hopefully I won't want to itch it. I mean, there's a slowly little bump, but it's not as bad as it was earlier. See, now that I'm thinking about it, now I want to itch it, right? So, stuff like that. Because I know sometimes when I'm out, right? You know, whatever, right? Out camping or whatever, stuff like that happens, right? So I always keep that in mind. I'm like, yeah, because sometimes it's just like, next thing I see is this big bump on my knee. It's just like, no, not again, and it itches too, it itches, right? So it's annoying, right? Like even my hand, like I said earlier, there's no mark, but it's a slight itch. And some places when you get bitten by a mosquito or whatever, something along the lines of that, sometimes it's just worse, certain little spots, right? Like, because it's by a bone or by a joint or whatever, like your knee, like the back of your, not the back of your hand, but the fingers, the knuckles of your hands, right? It gets annoying, right? You know what I mean? Because rarely, when's the last time you ever got a mosquito bite on the palm of your hand? Probably not, because, you know, you can move your hands or whatever. You're holding something like tools or like watering can in your hand, or if you're camping or whatever, right? You might be cooking, so you might have something in your hand, right? You know, covering it. But the back of your hand's exposed to bugs or whatever, just like the back of your neck, right? When if you get, mosquito bite on your forehead, then it's different. If you get something on your ear, it's different. It feels different, right? And stuff like that. Like even on the back of my calves or whatever, sometimes I'll see that, or it's just like a bump, right? It'll subside, right, in time, but sometimes I'll develop a bump on my hand and it itches. I'm just like, oh yeah, don't scratch it, it'll just make it worse, right? I'll do something or whatever to kind of override that itch sensation, right? Whatever. Depends what I have on me, right? There's commercial stuff or whatever, right? I know that. Yeah, and it helps. But if you look at that stuff, because I've seen this in store, and this is no medical advice, by the way. I'm not giving medical advice, but I'm saying in terms of my own research and actually seeing it and reading the ingredients of something that's commercially available, right? You look at it, at the ingredients, it'll say something as simple as baking soda. So, yeah. And of course, they add something else in and whatever, right? So I always keep that in mind. Because I've done that before. I've used it before. And actually, sometimes some of my kids will have that, right? Because it is, I can use it for something, right? It doesn't take up that much room relatively lightweight. It's got that standard weight, right? It doesn't weigh nothing, but, it has some weight, but it can help me out, right? And I've used it before. It just depends, right? It depends how bad it is. I mean, I've had years where it's worse, right? Just right now, it's what it is, right? Because it's hot, humid out, right? Because earlier in the month, right, it wasn't even that bad whatsoever, right? I could come outside, stand outside for hours, right, and never see or hear one, but now it's a little bit warmer, right? A little bit warmer, and they're hovering around, right? And stuff like that, so I'm always keeping that in mind as much as possible. Where am I at? All right. Yeah, I think I'll go to the top of the hour, unless for some reason it changes. Yeah, I'll go to the top hour. To the 2 hour mark. It's already past the top of the hours here, yeah. So, go from there. So about, I don't know, 7 more minutes or so. I'll give my standard 2-minute warning like I usually do. Like they do in football. I started doing that just because of football. Like I'm not a big football fan or whatever, right? Like, I'm seeing the CFL here or whatever, and the NFL for you guys in the US or whatever, right? But, I mean, I don't follow it that much. You know. I know what a TD is. Right? I mean, and some of the other stuff I know, maybe I don't want to talk about that so much, right? Okay, because I never played football. Like, flag maybe, but I never really played that in school setting or whatever, or even with people, right? Hockey on the other hand, different, right? I'm talking about both floor, ice, and like street hockey, right? That I have done, all right? I'm not saying I can, I got this powerful slap shot, but, or I can throw this perfect spiral, which actually is impossible, a perfect spiral. I watched a video on that, right? But, I could do something, right? I could do something if I really wanted to. Like, even, like, earlier this week, right? Had this quote-unquote picnic, barbecue, gathering of some sort. Like, there's, like, literally 20, 30 people, right? A couple of younger people, right? They entered this little football, we were just throwing it around. Sort of, right? Because it was so hot out that no one even wanted to, like, chase it and, like, or whatever, right? Like, I just threw it around, right? I was just like, oops. It's one of those little tiny ones, right? Not a standard size commercial available, like, football, that has the weight and, and stuff like that. It's that plushy thing, right? I'm throwing it, I'm like, I'm flicking my wrist, I'm like, oops, sorry, I threw it too hard. Well, not too hard, I overdid it, and I overshot it, I'm like, oops, sorry. I'm just like, just for fun, right? I enjoy that too. That's kind of enjoyable. Met some other people or whatever. Had some laughs. It didn't last that long in terms of like duration of doing it. I mean, the band, right? A couple hours at most, right? It was nice. I saw some people I haven't seen for a while. Who I briefly or intermediately have met and stuff like that. I was just like, yeah, it's nice to see them again. And stuff like that, right? I was just, yeah, and stuff like that, right? So, like I said, I enjoyed that time. I'll remember that. It'll be part of my memories that I have, and I miss karaoke really bad. I am at times. I've been thinking about it. I'm just thinking about it. I feel like I'm getting tempted for karaoke again. That's why sometimes you'll see me like break out in song randomly on these videos or on these live streams because I'm like, I'm missing it. I'm missing it. That's why. And I'm missing the other aspects of it at times, and I'm missing the social aspects of it at times, right? Randomly breaking out in song and singing for the moment, right? As they say. Oh, wait, that's a song. I'd sing anything right now, but there'd probably be like a strike or whatever on that kind of stuff. So I won't, but yeah, but this is why you'll see something later next month with one, right? It's because the standard long form content it's really frowned upon, but the short form content, that's a different story. That's why I'm just like, I've been experimenting with that. I'm working on another one, but let's see if it pans out. It'll relate into the channel to a certain degree. There's a reason for it. There will be a reason for it, and I can time it well. I have time for it, but I have to kind of start it like today, right? That kind of deal, right? So I have enough time to put it together and like test run it maybe, or have someone listen to it, or be like, see if I can get the feel of it, right? That's why, like, even today's video, when you saw it, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. I appreciate it, right? Check it out after this live stream, right? Leave a comment, leave a link, and whatever, right? And feel free to, follow me along on the journey too, right? But like I said earlier in the stream, it was when the music carried and the beat carried the footage forward, right? Where the footage and the music kind of just mesh together. They don't clash. They mesh together nicely, right? Because I've tried, sometimes I'm totally scrapping like this music, and I'm like, it's just not working with what I'm showing on screen, right? It's just like, it doesn't have that kind of instinctive, ooh, this is cool, or that feel, right? That feel. Like, I can't even describe that feel because it's actually a feeling, right? That feeling, whatever it is. It's just like an instrumental or original soundtrack, OST, going with a TV show or a movie, right? It's that kind of feel, like, where the dialogue, what's presented on screen in terms of the visuals, and the music just come together to form the feeling of it, whatever it is. I mean, there's countless examples out there of that kind of stuff, right? I'm always remembering that. It's the same way, like, because we're like any movie out there, right? Like, yeah, there's action scenes or whatever, right? And yeah, there's action scenes that have that kind of high beat, cinematic feel type of music, or dun, 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 or something like that, like a car chase or whatever, right? Or like, it's just like that I guess Halloween's coming around soon too, right? That kind of that eerie music, right? It's like, yeah, right? Or, of scarier movies, right? That kind of feeling, right? Because it sells that kind of feeling in terms of scared in that case, right? And like, because if you think about it like that, if you feel it or other people feel it, right, you, I wouldn't say get attached to it, but you have that connection to it to a certain degree, right? And you're just feeling it a lot more. And like that, I went over that 2 hour mark really, really fast by 30 seconds. So, 2 minute warning here because I forgot about it. I went on a tangent a little bit. That's always, yeah. So everyone, I appreciate everyone that dropped by on this late night stream, right? Hearing me out, hearing a couple of details, maybe a few other little things, right? Amongst some other things, and me like swatting mosquitoes away or whatever. And I got one. I got one. I was just like, yes. And I actually have it on camera. I mean, on footage of it now. On a live stream. So you actually saw it. It's probably still sitting there, obviously. It gets run over and stepped on or whatever. But I'm like, yes, I got it. So. And I haven't actually heard the bark since that time. So, like, always, everyone, unless someone randomly decides, I'm going to show up and don't see our live stream in the last 10 seconds. No, I don't see that happening. Okay, so everyone, go out there and do something awesome out there. Adapt. Do what you have to do, right? And keep going forward. Keep making progress forward. Bring that skill, bring that knowledge, bring that experience all together, right? All together. Just like in content creation for me, bringing it together, right? Some do music with some background talking like I'm doing right now, or a voiceover, or with some high-end action scene, or whatever, right? Bring it all together to create something awesome, and try stuff out, right? Like, never too old to learn something new, for the most part. For the most part, right? Like, learn something new, whatever it is. It could be growing something, right? The food, right? I know food, even for me, it's kind of like, yeah, it's going, I'm not, but higher, right? Do something awesome out there, right? Learn something new. Try something new. Expand your horizons a lot more, right? Adapt the information that you're hearing out there, wherever it's coming from. Not from me, but no, not just from me, but from other people too. And I apparently have one person in here listening to me on this outro. And do something, all right? Do something. As some other people have said, try to improve your situation or your stance right now. Do what you can, right? Even, if you're trying to get monetized or whatever, well, you're going to need to watch out or the subscriber count, right? If you're trying to grow a garden, well, kind of late in the season, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere, but or whatever, like, try something like growing green onions. A couple tomatoes, right? Learn from that. I learned from that experience that while you're doing it, it could be sewing. It could be maintenance of whatever. It could be inventory, right? Of some pantry items you have, right? You're into the preparedness community and doing that stuff, right? Learn from that. Not just watch the videos. Not just read about it. Not just read a blog or a forum about it. And yeah, you can go do that. And I do that too, right? but trying to adapt that information that you're seeing, hearing, looking at to your own real world, where you are right now, wherever you are in the world, no matter what country or state, province, or continent you're on, right? Because when it comes to, at the end of the day, there is still some things that we all have in common. There's still, well, blood in us. Still gonna need that oxygen in our lungs. Preferably seeing and hearing things too, right? And when possible, try to help someone out the best that you can, even if it's just holding the door for them or holding their cup, their reusable bottle up because their hands are full. Not because you want something out of it, just because you can, or you're just around, right? Or you don't want to see them dropping their laptop or phone and then realizing that you didn't do anything even though you were right there and had two hands free anyways, right? That kind of thing. Yeah. So like always, I appreciate everyone dropping by. Until the next time from CR, I'm gonna sing this as my outro out to this video. Okay, that didn't rhyme, I just made it up. Okay, anyways, that's it. And that's a wrap, everyone. And I'll catch you all next time. Take care. Echo, 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 echo. All right, see you, everyone. Later.